Well, I think there's no perfect solution, but one of the things that we tried to do as a starting point was say to those individuals who have spent 30 years in the same home, paying taxes, investing in the community, doing their parts. At what point do we help those individuals and say, let's give them uh, a pass on property taxes going forward because of the fact that they've invested so much time and energy and resources for 30 years at that home. And so that was the really the crux to say, at least as a starting point, as we start looking to give property tax relief to especially seniors that have spent a lifetime in that home that are now really struggling to pay high property taxes. What can we do to help them? And that was the goal of this legislation to say, okay, if you've invested that much time and energy in the community, you've paid your dues, and how about giving you a little bit of relief? Well, I think a number of legislators had looked at that, and we started saying, "Where's the starting point?" I mean, everyone needs relief because the taxes in Illinois are so extremely high. But especially hard hit, are those that are on fixed incomes, seniors, and then we started thinking, those that have literally been in their home for 30 years and have been paying taxes for 30 years, have clearly invested and volunteered and given back to the community. Let's start at least with them to say, what can we do to help that population get some relief? And uh, again, the bill's going to need some work, and there may be some compromising, and maybe there's a way to broaden it as well. But that was at least our goal for the reasoning to start with. And, unfortunately, the economy is growing at around 3%. Government is growing at over 6%. Uh, the math doesn't work. We can't have government continuing to be growing faster than the economy. Uh, Tough decisions have to be made, but government needs to live within their means, just like these homeowners and taxpayers have had to do. And the fact that they're not doing that, the homeowners should not be penalized for that. And in this case, we're saying someone that has struggled and paid taxes for 30 years in the same home, at what point is enough enough? And let's look at giving them some relief so they can afford to stay in that home and hopefully stay in that community so we don't look at selling and leaving town or going to Florida or some other place that let's give them a reason to stay in the community that they invested in for 30 years. We have to stop the out migration, and Illinois is near the top of people who are leaving the state. And if you ask them why they're leaving, it's because of taxes, and for younger people, it's not a good jobs market. Both of those things can be fixed, but it takes responsible leaders in government to stop their irresponsible spending, live within their means, like taxpayers have to do. And by doing something like giving some relief for seniors, it gives people hope that, hey, stay in Illinois. If you invest in Illinois, you're going to get some relief or reward for staying in your home for 30 years, giving back to the community for 30 years, paying property taxes for 30 years. Let's give you something to as a reward for that, and an incentive for you to stay there. Just because they're not paying property taxes doesn't mean they're not spending money in that town, which is still helping the economy. I think this is certainly an opening um, opportunity for us to at least start looking at the fact that uh, property taxes are a serious problem and is caused by government spending too much. And if we can't limit government one way we should do it another way. And by giving this kind of property tax relief may help force government to start making those tough decisions of living within their means, just like homeowners and taxpayers have to do.